And we're recording. Hi, everybody. This is the Ed the Pagan Show with Lilith. And so this is our Friday afternoon coffee because, you know, during the quarantine, schedules mean nothing. To me, I've been living in such a chaotic time stream. I'll tell you, I'm up all night and up all day and sleeping. It's been interesting.
Yes.
But that's why our friend coffee's for.
I've got my
Lilith,
water.
welcome aboard. Hydration's important. And so here we are, and we're out talking to everybody out there in the our spaces. So cyberspace has become really kind of our happy space, and I've said all
Can I
along,
ask you?
cyberspace.
Can I ask you for my following, because people are trying to watch us? Our Joanne, Reverend Earthstar, is asking us if it's on Facebook. So she doesn't know where to.
So right now, it's on Facebook.
On Facebook.
It's projecting right now. It should be. I'm going to check that. There we go. It's not there. Should be. Okay, why is it not there? All right, we are going to try another page. It's interesting. So I'm going to take a look at it. And we're going to keep talking because we still are doing
your
that.
Voice
so
is.
It should be.
Your voice is a little iffy.
All right, we're trying. Oh no, because I'm being iffy. You got me caught up in trying to look on our line. All right,
We are live?
We are live. Well, we've been live the last few minutes. So yeah.
Well, Earthstar is watching us.
Yeah.
Earthstar is now watching us. So hi.
Oh, good. Oh, good. So it should be. I don't know. Sometimes the service has been. Yeah, we're working on it. We're learning how it works. But yeah, we should be on Twitch. We should be on you live. If not, we will then be. We are also recording it, and I can reset it out then. And play it out there. We have so much capability out here. This is what I'm kind of built. This is where I am at right now, trying to really in a sort of heavy learning curve about the next level of communication. And since then, you've been really involved with us in the next level. You've been doing a lot of Zooms with us. You've been, as we've kind of progressed into this more active lifestyle on the internet. You've been right there. You've been a real supporter of it.
Yeah, I am not having a active body of Wicca here in Holland. I have my own personal shrine at home of Lilith, and currently also of Bastet or Bast. And so
Good. And so you're a witch school student for a while and a member of Corellians for a while.
Yeah, I've been with witch school since 2004. So I'm an oldie to talk about SL terms, Second Life terms.
Oh, yeah.
I'm an oldie. I've started out with Lady Anna, and she's very close to my heart. And this is also a shout out to her. Thank you. And I've been to the illustration in 2008 in the UK, where I also met you all. And also her. There was a wonderful experience to go to and being able to, and to be part of something like the Corellian tradition, who is now working so hard to be an active body in video streaming, live streaming, and such. It's just. To be part of something big like that is just pretty special.
Well, we're grateful to have you because it's a two-way street. You know, if we don't have people who are interested in what we're doing, then that becomes the other side of it too. So we have a real two-way street. Yeah. I like the fact that we can create streams and shows. And people says, well, how many people are watching your coffee show? Because it doesn't matter.
You only have to have 5.
And they go, well, what if it's 10 people? Go, you know, I've been to many.
5 becomes 10, 10 becomes 20, and so on, and so on, and so on.
And I would be upset if I have 100 people at a festival come to my workshop. I'm happy. Why
Yeah.
shouldn't it be happy if just 100 people show up here? I mean, that would be like big crowds for the festival scene.
To talk about drinking, the workshop
Yeah.
with I have missed her name. I'm so sorry, but I have my water, so I'm drinking water.
Oh, I remember what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah, the workshop at illustration.
Sure. And you can see all those at corellinillustration.com.
Was so wonderful.
So, okay, let's go ahead. So you've been involved with a lot of things. And one of the things that Wild Moon Temple, the social Second Life Temple work.
Yes.
You've been I know that, yeah, there's a lot of people involved. And why don't you tell us about that project? I know that you're involved with it. I know that you're one of many people who are deeply working in that area. So can you tell us about it?
Well, it started actually with Second Life in 2009. I came in SL in 2009 because I heard there was a virtual body back then of the Corellian tradition, but I never found it. But I stayed on SL because I liked it, and it was a social platform as it is right now. And yeah, I've been there now since 2009 and 11 years, and
You've been around that long.
I've been around so long. I haven't.
No. I mean, Second Life. It's an interesting space, and so now it's gotten revived a little bit. I've noticed as of late.
I think that's due to the Corona trials and tribulations and problems, that people are just longing for a social connection to people and others, and also of like-minded people like us with the Wild Moon. We are a active body of the Corellian tradition back in SL, and we are also on Facebook. You can find us there. We have our own website which people can find, and they can watch the schedule there of what activities we are doing there, and we are doing a lot. And if I may, our activities range from daily devotional rituals, yoga, red, green, and purple tents in future maybe. And I'm not sure if people are aware of red and green tents, but
go ahead and explain them. I mean,
red tent for me, red tent is for the ladies. Red tent is actually a social gathering where female characters on SL, so ladies on SL, can come together and possibly work with an activity that they can share together, or talk about what their month has been and such. And it's just a really fun social gathering. And so we are starting that.
And so this is and so Second Life is kind of a space where you enter into that you're very much part of a 3D object. It's inside that space.
Yeah.
And you're seeing it either through a TV.
Huh? You create your own avatar, and then you can absolutely find us in Second Life, and we will welcome you there and greet you there and tell you all about our activities.
And then you've created these lovely scenarios, scenes, interactive spaces that you have.
Yes.
One that has like a lot of Corellianism in it, but also nature.
Yeah. I have to talk a little bit about the Wild Moon origins.
Okay. Terrific.
The Wild Moon Temple is currently a Witten shrine. I'm thinking about Liz because she says Witton instead of Whiten, as I said it. So a Witten shrine within the Corellian tradition, led by Reverend Earthstar, aka Joanne Williams, from the UK, and she had a sim on Second Life, and me and Reverend Cherry Hewitt, also on Facebook and within the Corellian tradition, were actually seeking a active body in SL, because we knew that there was actually an active body in SL, but we never found it until Lady Anna told us about Reverend Earthstar, who had her own sim. And at first we were at another sim, and we had some beautiful apartments and our own little cafe, which was called the Perfect Cafe.
Okay.
We had a lot of cats, still have.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I remember one of my channels out there, favorite channels is Witch Cats at Facebook.
So yeah, that
/Witch Cats.
your voice is a little bit cutting out for me. So sometimes,
yeah, it's going to happen. Right now, I'm seeing some instability in our internet.
okay.
So yeah, there's a little bit of internet instability. So it's gonna happen. So
yeah,
we'll just muscle on through it.
Yeah. So to tell you more, like I said, I never found this actual body in SL. So I started living my life on SL, being social with others.
So we did have an internet space about 2009, 2010.
I think so. Yes.
No, we did. I was there, and it lasted
Yeah.
all of about a year. And it was just too consumptive at the time, too internet consumptive. We just our computers couldn't keep up with it.
Yeah.
And and Second Life, had its moment, and then it faded from the mainstream of it. And that's maintained on as a system that still continues to work today, I understand.
Mm-hmm. So to talk a little bit more about the Wild Moon, I met Reverend Cherry a few years ago on SL, and we chatted. We chatted also about this active body that was there but wasn't there, up until we found out that Reverend Earthstar was there, and yeah, a couple days later, after we found out from Lady Anna that there was actually somebody called Earthstar on Second Life, we got in contact with her, and it started all from there. Excuse me. Yeah, and we felt it was the beginning of something big. So naturally, as we grew to a body of 70 people, give or take, we had to move to another sim. So we now are currently owning a half sim on the body of SL. And we have been starting building, decorating, and having daily activities. And gradually, the shrine grew to a shrine of 70 people at this moment. So if you want to know about our activities, well, like I said before, our activities range from daily devotionals, yoga, red, green, and in the future purple dance, creative writing sessions, meditations, belly dancing, social gatherings like weekly drum circles, crafting gatherings, and other events like the very important new moon and full moon aspects. And this weekend or tomorrow, give or take, we will be having our full moon ritual.
So right now you're 6 hours ahead of us.
Yes, it's currently with me.
And I'm at Eastern time, which is 12:47.
Yeah, with me it's now 6:47 p.m. in the evening.
And we're 12:47 p.m. in the afternoon. So you're 6 hours ahead of us.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And we are also planning in a couple weeks time from now to start the clergy classes. And we'll be starting with the first degree and the 5 mystic secrets.
Well, that's gonna be a lot of fun. It's very exciting.
Yes.
And so this allows people to have kind of a thing. So we have actually, and I love the fact of this because I think this is one of the next spaces we're going into. Right now, I'm taking control of this broadcasting two-way communicator, world. This is like, to me, this is really the Dick Tracy type things.
Yeah. A little birdie told me now that it's SL time, second lifetime, is now 9:47 a.m.
So for us, that's called that's called Pacific time. It's what it's because they're in
BST.
Washington. They are basically 3 hours later than us.
Yeah.
So good. Second lifetime is measured there. So it's interesting. Time is a very flexible concept when it comes to the internet.
Yes. Very confusing also.
Right. Because I know we have people who are starting to work in VR. JJ out there and a couple of others are starting to work in creating spaces in 3D spaces in the Oculus space. So that'll be kind of amazing. So we're seeing more and more of our practices move online. Do you feel that you get, so I guess a lot of people go, oh, I heard this with phone psychics in the early 90s. No one should get a phone reading. It can't be as good as the one that's in front of you. No one argues that anymore. Not really. And now we're starting to have Zoom readings. We're having Zoom rituals. We've always had. Now the Corellians we've had for 10 years. We've had radio rituals for over 10 years. We've filmed and we've even live broadcasted our rituals for a long time. So for us, this is very familiar space. Now it's getting a bit more useful to us. So I'm really grateful for that. And you're a good example of that. You're not only building Second Life, but you're involved in our Zoom life, and you've been involved when we were just email systems and a website.
Yeah. And I can remember one time that I needed to ask a question, but I couldn't get through to the emails. So I stayed up until midnight, my time. And I talked to the lovely lady. Oh, what's her name again? She was then the front office. Mary.
Marianne. There's either Marianne K or Virginia.
Marianne K.
Yeah.
And I can still remember her smoky voice on. I can still remember that. So that was that's a lovely memory that I have.
Yeah.
She was very kind on the telephone.
She is a kind person. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now these days she's doing My Mystic Gem Jewelries of all things. So she's still out there in the world. But yeah, I mean, if we've gone through a lot of changes, and we just really rebuilt the website, and the new website is very fascinating because, like yourself, not everybody thinks of us as like American, but we're not. But actually, almost a third of our entire membership is outside the United States.
We're global.
Oh yeah,
we're global, and
I was going to say, the new site has this button where you can push it and you can translate into like 100 languages.
Yes.
And they're decent. They're not great, but they're decent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I for the past illustration that we had, the spring illustration, I actually translated the illustration ritual into Dutch. So and that was in 2.5 days. So so it is just global, and it's just wonderful to meet all people around the world and get different insights from everybody. And there are different views in Wicca and witchcraft, for that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there's a fantastic change in what's happening. I think we're now on the next step of phasing in more of it. And I think you've been really, really wonderful in that. And I think you've shown people some of the possibilities, and you handle handle it with such what do I say, elegance. I think that you do it very well.
Yeah. And with
Uh,
passion. And with
what's
passion.
that?
I do it absolutely with passion.
Oh, good.
Yeah, with passion.
Um, so how do you say? Okay, so I have a question. So I've asked this of everybody who. So, well, you know my favorite joke in the world, right? For languages, right? You
Yeah.
haven't heard?
Tell me again. Tell me again.
Okay, so somebody who speaks three languages is called trilingual. Someone who speaks two languages is called bilingual. What do you call somebody who speaks one language?
Mm-hmm.
A stupid American.
Yeah. Um,
Blink at that one. Okay.
yeah.
See, I tell you, people who speak multiple languages, they get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I want to actually, because I think that's a very important body for us in to be an SL and to be able to have people come to us from around the world. I have to tell you a little bit about SL because there are some sometimes there were iffy stories that I know of. So I have to tell you a little bit about SL. Second Life is another reality where people get together in real life for ritual or magical working. They create intent and focus within a magic circle using tools like candles and incense to enhance their practice. Second Life provides, and I have written it down for a moment, so please excuse me. Second Life provides the means for people across the globe to come together and create a similar way of working to provide focus and intent in the Second Life realm. So in that sense, people who cannot attend real life ritual or activity due to perhaps real health reasons or location, or if there are no others in their social surroundings. So this within Zoom, Facebook, Second Life, it provides an alternative way for them to worship and to celebrate with everybody around the world, to take part in and feel connected, and that's so important for me. It is so important to connect to other people, and especially in these trialing time of Corona, it is very um, important to feel connected to people, and not only to each other but their own path and spiritual journey. And it's also a great way to socialize, make friends, because I have friends since 2009 who are in America. I have never seen them in real life, but I've seen them through Skype, through Facebook, through Second Life, and they are the best friends that I ever had. And so it's also wonderful to share ideas and wisdom with other like-minded souls. And like I said, we literally have members from all over the world. From the UK, of course, we have Joanne. We have me from the Netherlands. And in the USA, we've got Reverend Cherry and Reverend Jared. And we range even as far as Australia.
So I think that's an important aspect of it, is that basically, so there isn't really, okay, and here, let me get back here. And I really don't think that at this point that there's much that we're recognizing that anywhere you are in the world, if you have an internet connection, you can be connected to any of these groups of people.
Yes.
And we're looking at 3 billion people through Facebook. We're looking through almost 1 billion through Twitter. We're seeing Twitch growing like a mad weed, TikTok growing like a little bit. And Zoom has been this, is the miracle story of 2020, of the
And
right
do not
technology being at the right time.
and do not forget Discord.
And Discord. Oh, and then you start getting into the small ones. I've seen Amino and House Party,
Oh,
MeWe. Huh?
I just I just learned about Zoom a couple weeks ago, and um, I am also learning about the app Teams.
Right.
But I use the Teams app because I'm also trying to learn Spanish. And I cannot say anything in Spanish, unfortunately, right now. So sorry, Spanish people. I cannot do that at the moment. But
So how do you say Karelian, Wicca, and Dutch? Is that how you speak Dutch? Have I got that right?
Yeah, I'm speaking Dutch. And do not mistake that for German, because German
Yes,
is from
I'm trying to be
Germany.
very careful.
And Dutch, it sounds like Duits.
Right.
Duits is the Dutch word for German. But in Holland, Corellian Wicca is just Corelliaanse Wicca.
Really, that's so cool.
Yes.
That's really cool. I've been enjoying listening to this. One of the things I really appreciate, I think people are getting to understand, is that I'm really enjoying being able to talk. Finally, really to be able to talk. This has been my thesis all my life since the telepathic media, is that we were building a telepathic system, and this is as close as it gets right now, folks. This is really close. It's a lot closer than people would have ever imagined, and it's so inexpensive to operate and so frictionless. And it's about to get further. I think Second Life offers Second Life and similar systems offers us a real view of how we can start operating in what we would call telepresence, kind of an astral plane of sorts, isn't it?
Yes.
And we have,
And to talk just one more time about SL, because
sure, that's what we are talking
I
about.
shouldn't. I wasn't supposed to forget this, and I hear people laughing in the back of my head now. That I had to ask you to invite you over into the body of SL to, if you want, that is, to come over into SL, see what we do, and have a little chat with Star, Cherry, and me, like we are doing right now.
Right.
But then
I want to see more.
But
I'll
then
have to figure
within the body of
so
SL.
I will contact you afterward, and we'll do it. I will make it. Maybe I haven't figured out how to do a show how to. Because I've never done it. I have never ever been in second.
It's
I went
very
into
easy.
Second Life once, and I was like, okay, this is a game.
It looks like a game, but it's not a game. It's literally, and I can tell you that 100%, it's literally a second virtual life.
And that's what they keep saying. And so we'll see how it lives up to it. I mean, I think that this is something that I think is still emerging. I know that I believe in it. I think we're heading into far more digital realities than people realize. That with augmented reality, VR reality, it's all kind of changing. Even the idea of now we've already transformed into becoming more of a broadcast station.
Yeah, it's a Second Life is so much more like a game. What I just said, it's literally a Second Life next to where I'm sitting right now, and sitting where you're sitting right now. It's literally a virtual life next to the real life.
Absolutely. It fits into my thesis of how all of this is going to work. I still tell people cyberspace is psychic space. It's really the machines of our imagination. And I think that we're just starting to get really looking at how to do so. I mean, after all, it's code, Wizard's code, creating imaginative and powerful realities that we interact with.
Yeah.
I always do it. I think we're programmed the first cyber spirits too. I think like Alexa and all these talking systems are all the first one. And
Alexa's fun.
What?
Alexa is fun. Especially when you're talking with somebody in a cell, and you say something, and Alexa starts to talk on the other side. because you said something that sounded like Alexa, la 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 la. And it's a
Yeah, that's gonna be
psychic
interesting.
space also. Yeah.
I do. I fully believe it. I'm going to test that idea with the psychic fair, but I do believe psychic space and cyberspace share a lot of extreme common ground. That they are actually the way that we describe psychic phenomena and psychic energy. I find a direct electronic version of it now that you can
Yeah.
do with electronics. And so I've been saying, this is what we're talking about. You purists all think it has to happen up here. This is not like this is my machine. So last place. So how do they find you in SL and find you all around?
Well, you can find us especially on the hub because I'm there with my real name. That's Marijke Kleuren. That's my real name. I go by Reverend Lilith. Sorry, tongue twister. And so you can find us on www.wildmoontemple.com or on facebook.com/groups/wildmoontemple. And I'm sure that Ed will put it down here somewhere for all to see.
I'm just saying, trying to figure out what software we're going to have to get next here to start really ramping the game up. The idea of having a completely like in the cloud studio is it blows my mind. I tell people, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I looked at buying a truck to kind of do these sort of things. And when that happened, it was like, okay, $175,000 for a 10-year-old truck. And each hour was like $200 an hour to operate it when you went transmit. Now my cell phone does it right here.
Yeah.
My computer does it, and I do it for reasonable costs. I mean, what it used to cost me an hour or two. Just that's it. I get all month-long services, so we're playing a lot with that space as well. And we're gonna see what we can do about making this all more intimate. Well, any last thoughts for you? And anything last that you want to share with people?
I would just say, dare a little. Try to make an avatar on www.secondlife.com. And I have to say, and I'm very sorry to say that, do not log in with their viewer, but IM me or DM me on Facebook, and I will give you the link to the Phoenix Firestorm viewer, because that's a very much easier viewer for people to use.
That's a really important subject.
It's very important, and I am so sorry, Second Life and Linda Labs. I'm so sorry, but I do strongly dislike your viewer.
No, I imagine you should have. We were talking about it. You should say you should use this viewer. Now that if you've watched the whole thing, you got the biggest nugget on that. And so here we go. We're going to continue building sort of lives out here. And we've been talking to Lilith, and she's out there advancing in time ahead of us. So she's going to be putting the wakes out there as I go fill more of my day.
7:06 in the evening here.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's very interesting for me because when I do the psychic fair coming up on May 21st, we're starting at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're running 2 days. But if people are asking me, well, when do you close? It says we're not closing. It's the internet. If we have readers at 120 hours a day, we love
people. The internet doesn't close.
That's it. So we have Rolando, who's going to be doing readings from the Philippines.
Wonderful.
We're going to see some people around the world. So we're actually going to have kind of this first really psychic energy and a fundraiser to help us, get more, get us to pay better technology so we can improve the technology so we can, get more people to communicate and to help more people, because when we communicate more, we get more resources to people. I found that out.
Yes. And that's very important. Like I said, communication is actually my lifeline in life. I am a very big fighter for a good communication. And so what you just said, yes, that's so true. That's so true.
Oh, I'm a big believer that where you have communication, you can have resources, you can have help. I
Yes,
mean,
absolutely.
there is definitely answers to everything. It just you just have to know where to find the answers.
Absolutely.
And so we're building on that. So well, good. Well, thank you for joining us for our afternoon coffee.
My pleasure completely.
Yeah, and remember, you go get one of these and watch out for more psychic fair stuff on Monday. We're going to begin our coffee pusher show. We're going to be starting to talk about the psychic fair, and it's going to become, be warned, one of my obsessions. And we're going to do more of this type of material, meet the Corellians and all of that. You have any ideas of what you want to do? It's 24 hours a day. We can do all sorts of things. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Well, I'm the representative for Second Life on all the different medias for the Corellians, as well as Reverend Earthstar, and also Reverend Cherry or Reverend Jared. So if people are interested, they can come to us and we will guide you through our different channels.